Welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Christina Thompson. Devastatingly, it's a case we all hoped wasn't true, but we now know is. The 10-year-old Ohio girl that Biden referenced as needing to cross state lines to get an abortion after being raped. Well, a man now arrested for this disturbing crime. 27-year-old Gerson Fuentes was arrested after he confessed to raping a child on multiple occasions. The assistant Franklin County prosecutor Dan Meyer said the girl recently turned 10, meaning that she was likely impregnated at just 9 years old. Gerson is a Guatemalan illegal immigrant. ICE confirmed that they placed a detainer on Fuentes, which means they requested he eventually be handed over to them to be removed from the country. That's if he doesn't receive life in prison, which is possible for this crime if convicted. The Indianapolis Sun first broke this story with the headline, quote, "Patients head to Indiana for abortion services after other states restrict care," writing that after the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, an Indianapolis OBGYN took a call from a child abuse colleague in Ohio. Now this doctor had a 10-year-old patient in her office pregnant. Now some speculate that under Ohio laws, this child did not need to travel for an abortion. But here's where things get a little gray. Ohio passed a law after Roe v. Wade was overturned that prevents abortions after a heartbeat is detected, which is on or about 6 weeks. Now, this little girl was 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant at the time of her abortion. Now, that doctor who leaked this story, she was slapped with a HIPAA violation. Rob?
Goodness. Christina, thank you so much for the update to that story. That is just beyond tragic. A 9-year-old girl. More on that in just a moment. On Newsmax here on Rob Schmidt tonight, we have been running specials all week on the crisis at our southern border, the invasion at our southern border. We will have more at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Last night, we got a look inside the situation that many migrants are going through as they try to enter this country illegally. Just a warning for some of our viewers at home. The images that we're about to show you could be disturbing, so just bear that in mind. But joining us now is senior law enforcement analyst and former acting Border Patrol Commissioner Mark Morgan. Mark, before we get into that video, that update from Christina Thompson, get out there and vote in November, vote again in 2024. A 9-year-old girl raped by an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, and Rob, what this is about border security. I would think that everybody in this country should be behind doing everything we can to prevent something like that's happened. Let me give you a quick stat. Under the Biden administration, 800,000 known gotaways have evaded apprehension, broken our border, and made it way to every state in this country because of the open border policies. And among the 800,000, murderers, rapists, pedophiles, gang members. How many more times does this have to happen before we say enough is enough?
It's tough to go on with the segment right now. I've got a 6-year-old. She's a baby. You're a baby at 9 years old.
Absolutely.
And this scumbag comes here illegally, does this at age 27. And this is Joe Biden's America. The numbers, and I wrote this down yesterday. So this is DHS. We've had almost 2 million illegal immigrants cross the border in the 18 months that Joe Biden's been president. That is equal to the population of the state of Nebraska. That's the 38th biggest state in this country, meaning that more migrants have come here illegally over the last 18 months than the population of 13 states.
That's right. And the hard, cold truth is they're not all good. This is a representation of that. There are some bad people that are breaking our country and getting through. There are angel families that have lost loved ones at the hands of illegal aliens. These are all crimes that are preventable, Rob.
Okay, let's get into what some of these migrants are going through as they try to come into the country illegally. I want to roll a clip from Jason Jones on last night's episode of Invasion right here on Newsmax. Take a look at some of this video, and then, Mark, we'll let you sort of narrate as soon as we get done with the video. Take a look.
These folks that are coming across, they're putting their lives into the hands of people that don't really care about them. Are they being abused? Are they being raped? Are they being victimized, right? Some of the conditions that we've seen some of these folks in, in the trunk of a car with little oxygen, going into a pursuit. I mean, that's deadly. Going to some of these stash houses with bare minimum living conditions. And their package there, just waiting to be shipped out to go somewhere else.
I mean, I remember, and we've talked about this, Alejandro Mayorkas, safe, humane.
Yep.
Those were all things that he said about the Joe Biden border policy, yet we're dealing with this.
Yeah, you're right. His big shtick is that he said that they've developed a safe, orderly, and humane system for illegal aliens. It's a lie. Look, under his administration right now, and I'm being conservative, there's been we're pushing 1,000 dead immigrants. 1,000 that they have recovered. Why are they coming? Because this administration has told them, if you enter our country illegally, we're going to release you to the United States. So they're willing to risk everything, including their lives. We also have independent reporting that says up to 30% of young women and children are sexually assaulted on their journey up here. 30%. It gets worse, is that young women as young as 12 years old, they're actually giving the morning after pill, sometimes by their own parents, Rob, because they anticipate they're going to be sexually assaulted on their journey up here. Border Patrol, under this administration, 20,000 rescues. So many more migrants would have died if Border Patrol hadn't risked their own life. And we haven't even talked about the atrocities associated with trafficking of these illegal aliens. And that is under this administration. There's nothing safe, orderly, and humane about that. And I keep saying, enough is enough. How many more Americans have to die? And how many more victims, the migrants themselves, before we say we have to stop?
You know, I will just say, I've noticed that just driving around where I live, I'm seeing a lot more American flags, and we're well removed from the 4th of July now. People are starting to realize, again, and recognize how great a country this actually is. And I think that's being reflected in polling. The border is now a big issue. It's the economy, and then it's the border right after that. Does that mean that people are starting to wake up to what's going on our 4 southern states? I
do. I think they're finally realizing that last year, 107,000 drug overdoses. The leading cause of death between 18 and 45 is fentanyl, and 95% of the fentanyl comes from the wide open southwest border. Wow. I think they're realizing that, and I think they're also realizing that the worst thing that we can do for the migrants themselves is have open borders.
Mark Morgan, appreciate having you back in this morning. Thank you so much. Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.